Ignite, sparked by BBB, where conversations are taking place to change the future.
Welcome back, everyone, to BBB Sharing. I'm Evie, Director of Ignite, sparked by BBB. We are here in the Ignite podcast studio with Kate Scott, President and CEO of Virginia Council on Economic Education.
Well, thank you, Evie. I'm so glad to be here with you.
I'm glad you came. I know it's been a crazy start of the year and just all over the place, but it's been nice to get back into the flow of things and having people come in to do podcasts. It's been great. I kind of miss the peopling of it all.
Yes.
How have you been? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It has been wild. I assumed the position of President and CEO on January 1st.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm in my third week of the real world. So it has, like you said, it's been a whirlwind of 2025 so far.
Absolutely. So for those that do not know, tell me, what is the Virginia Council on Economic Education?
The Virginia Council on Economic Education was founded in 1970 by J. Curtis Hall, who was the first dean of the School of Business of VCU, and Buford Scott, who founded Scott and Stringfellow. So they both knew that we needed to make sure that the students of Virginia, kindergarten through 12th grade, had the economic knowledge and financial skills they needed that were necessary to thrive in our dynamic economy. And so to this day, we are working out of 9 university-based centers for economic education that span the state. So we have George Mason University Center for Economic Education, one at JMU, one at the University of Mary Washington, Christopher Newport University, Old Dominion University, Virginia Commonwealth, of course, and University of Lynchburg, UVA Wise, and Virginia Tech.
Wow.
Oh, and University of Lynchburg. I was counting making sure I got all of those. So yeah, we have experienced educators and experienced economists that are on the ground and making sure that every student who graduates from a Virginia public high school is equipped with the skills that they need to thrive.
Excellent. I love that. I think one of the biggest concerns, and I talked to this about with Barry, our CEO, he says all the time, it's so sad to see even grown adults when the statistic has gotten so bad that it's now 1 in 7 people cannot write a check for $1,000. We have a problem.
Yes.
In our society. And I think it does start with children becoming adults and not really knowing how to handle their finances.
Oh, that is such a huge epidemic, really pandemic, that is affecting citizens across the globe. And when we impact students through teachers, we do it through teacher training because the teachers have a great multiplier impact. You're not just reaching that one classroom, but you're reaching their generations of classrooms. Yeah. And it's not just those individual children that are being changed or those individual teachers, but it's their families and it's their communities. And you were correct that most Virginians aren't able to handle $1,000 calamity that happens in their life. And not all of it is because they're making extraordinarily horrible financial decisions or are being irresponsible. We have a lot of Virginians who are living at or below the federal poverty line, where their decision-making matrix is even more constrained. So the work that we do is as important, if not more important than it was in 1970 when we were founded.
I 100% believe that, especially now. What are one of the biggest things that you want a teacher to touch base on with students? Like if you tell them, if you can't get them to understand anything at all, at least get them to understand this one thing.
To me, the basis of every single thing that we teach students and those skills is on economic decision making, understanding that every decision you make has a cost and a benefit, and you're not going to run away from costs at all, and you're not just going to be able to absorb solely benefits. Every single decision, whether it's good or bad, depending on what your criteria are, that you are rating that decision, that I don't want anyone to teach people what to think, but giving them a tool to consider how to think and to weigh the cost and the benefit.
I think that's actually wonderful because we're lucky enough to live in the United States where we have so many different options for various things that are necessities for us every single day, like car insurance and health insurance and where we want to live, whether we want to rent or buy a home. And I think not being felt guilty for putting more into one thing over the other is really great because sometimes we benefit different things based off of our
Right.
lifestyle.
And there's so many criteria that you can use to evaluate the alternatives you have. And I know, but prior to coming to Virginia, I was a teacher in South Mississippi, where I grew up and I was raised. And each one of the students that came into my classroom, they came with an imaginary backpack filled with their life experiences. So their decisions were different, but you can't judge those different decisions in that way. Some students, for instance, let's say the post-secondary option, there's a lot of pressure to go immediately to a four-year university. But the best decision for some may be getting a certificate and a credential and entering in that workforce. That's where career and technical education is so valuable to the students of Virginia who are graduating in 12th grade with credentials that can give them a way to provide for their family. If the best decision for you is to go immediately to a four-year university or even expand past the state to an elite university, then carpe diem, seize those opportunities and seize the time it takes there. As long as that decision is sound and you've looked at your criteria and all your alternatives and you see where you can minimize your cost and maximize your benefit.
I think that's actually a really great perspective on it because one of my biggest concerns now, my siblings and I are out of school, and we were lucky enough that we had parents that saved up for us to go to school. But I see a lot of people my age, and I'm 29 now, that are still paying off college debt. And I don't think that they ever had that conversation. Was what you studied worth that when you left school?
Right, and understanding what do the careers look like after you graduate, and what is your earning potential? I am not 29. I am the ripe old age of 41, and I'm still paying off loans. It was told to my generation. I'm one of the elder millennials. I'm feeling geriatric right now. But it was told to my generation that student loan debt was good debt and that it would not adversely affect you in the same way as other debt. Well, that is true to an extent that I did have a college education and it did provide opportunities. But the truth of the matter is, you can't make independent decisions about what you want when you really have to make decisions about how to pay your debt. So it limits the options that we have maybe in terms of happiness and overall joy and being content with our life. And what we want for students and teachers and Virginia as a whole is a citizenry that doesn't have to make decisions based on their debt, but based on their dreams, goals, and ambitions.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that I think is commendable are the teachers today. They deal with so much, not just the students. It's not the students' fault. I think the parents have a lot to do with what teachers have to go through, but I do believe that what they do is they try really, really hard every single day to help their students and make sure that they're able to become adults that are successful.
Right. We all laugh within the world of elementary and secondary education is we just want tax-paying citizens who are going out and making the world a better place. And that's our goal. We want our students overall, there's always outliers in a career field who are in it for a different reason, but I would say 99.9% of teachers, they just want to be able to give what they have to their students and see their students succeed.
100%. I can't say, I mean, I loved all of my students growing up. I can't imagine them ever doing it other than the fact that they absolutely love doing
Right.
it.
You're not getting in it to become a multimillionaire.
No. So tell me, what does the program kind of look like for these teachers? And do you also, I know you're on a lot of campuses.
Mhm.
So how does that benefit the students too?
So because we are in regions across the state and every public school division is assigned to a Center for Economic Education, they have at their disposal a subject matter expert who is willing to provide professional development customized to what those teachers need. And we do offer statewide programming like our online personal finance institute and in-person personal finance institute, our economics institute, our entrepreneurship institute. Each one of those has with economics and personal finance, 45 hours of professional development with at no cost to the teacher. Everything that we do is we partner with some of the best contributors, corporations, and individuals across the state so that nothing that the teacher takes part with VCEE will be an expense to them coming out of their pocket. And then there's 55 hours for the entrepreneurship, and it includes a national certification on small business and entrepreneurship, because we know that teachers are probably the best intrapreneurs. So those employees who are innovative that we have in our global economy. And then we have some quick hits that happen. We have some timely topics where can spend an hour webinar, or you can have a couple hours that are in person. So truly it is customized. So if there's an education organization, a local education agency who's interested in needing extra support for their teachers who are teaching economics, personal finance, entrepreneurship, we at VCEE and our Centers for Economic Education in our network will be glad to customize that professional development to that individual school division's needs. If you're in private school or homeschool, we also have supports that are there so that the teachers can thrive, and then as a result, the students can thrive.
I love that. Being able to have that customizable option is really important because so many people are like, well, I really want to do this, but I just don't have the time or my schedule can't fit into it. I think this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it gives teachers an opportunity and really no excuse as to why students can't have the education that they need as far as economics go.
That's exactly right. And it's, as I said, it's so much more than just how you write a check and balance a checkbook. It expands all through. Everywhere there's a decision, there's economics.
Oh yeah, 100%. So do you have any events coming up?
We do. And our spring calendar will be posted at vcee.org. And all of that will be posted here in the next few days. And then you can expect the summer programming to be posted by March 15th.
Awesome.
So yeah, come on. We would love to help you. And if you have any questions or concerns, or you're not sure how to navigate, we have a universal email account that is monitored. That's vcee@vcu.edu. That we'd be glad to help teachers and students.
Wonderful. Kate, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was great talking to you. Great meeting you. Happy
Same.
New Year again and congratulations.
Thank you.
Everyone that is listening on BBB Sharing, please make sure to follow us and share the podcast out. If you're watching on YouTube, BBB Central VA, please make sure to follow us and subscribe. And do not forget, please excuse me, that we are also on Virginia Breeze now, which is a music app. So you can listen to the podcast on Virginia Breeze as well as music all day long.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ignite, sparked by BBB, where conversations are taking place to change the future.